Hey everybody, wanted to do a little video here and talk to you all about Palmetto State Armory's premium bulk carrier groups. I have their Phosphate bulk carrier group here, a premium with the logo, and I also have their nickel boron premium with Carpenter 158 bolt without the logo. So just kind of wanted to look at them and kind of compare them a little bit. So let's kind of open them up here. I believe, which one is this? The nickel boron. Here is the nickel boron premium bulk carrier group. Real nice and shiny. Kind of sit that there. And here, these are both brand new, by the way, have never been used, except maybe by them for testing, which I'm pretty sure that they do test their bulk carrier groups from. Just when I just received this one yesterday, and as you can know how well that may show up right there, but it sure looks like they test them to me. But so let's kind of get into it here, shall we? I guess we'll kind of start off with the cheaper one, which is the phosphate coated bulk carrier group here. Let's see what it says on here. It just says it's a full auto bulk carrier group, and this one does have the logo. I know quite a few people do like to get the logo and stuff on them, but I mean, it's nice when they're new, but honestly, within 500 to 800 rounds, it's barely even noticeable on there anymore. So there's really no point in really getting one with the logo, honestly. I've had two. I recently received one of these for free from Palmetto State Armory, and I had sold that one, and this is the one that I had bought during around Black Friday. I believe I picked this up for $59 free shipping, something like that. Not a bad deal overall. But I just kind of wanted to compare them here. One thing's for sure on this one, the pin. Get a knife out here. The pin that holds in the firing pin here is in really, really tight. And I don't think this knife is going to work. Let's get this little screwdriver in here. Alrighty, there we go. I have that out. Let's get the firing pin out here. There's the firing pin. Let's get the cam pin out. There's the cam pin. Here's the bolt. Alright, so on the Phosphate Premium Bulk Carrier Group here, on the bolt here, you can see, if I can really get it to focus, it is HPT MPI marked, for high pressure tested, magnetic particle inspected, which is typical, on a premium bulk carrier group. Kind of test the extractor here. Or extractor, sorry. Nice spring tension on that. This one is still dry. They ship dry like that, except there's a little bit of lube here on the bolt. So this one is marked. Got some greasy fingers now, sticky greasy fingers. Now here is the nickel boron premium bulk carrier group. If I can kind of get it to focus again, there we go. As you can see, it's real nice and shiny. Now, this is honestly personally my first nickel boron bulk carrier group. I can kind of remember when nickel boron really first started coming onto the market, and they were kind of really expensive at first, but then they've kind of gotten a little bit cheaper. But I purchased this for $89 in free shipping from Palmetto State Armory. And as from what I can tell, this is pretty much the cheapest nickel boron bulk carrier group that you can get. However, what I thought was a little interesting, Palmetto State Armory seems to have three kinds of nickel boron bolt carrier groups. They have a PSA nickel boron that lists, for $89. They have a Freedom nickel boron that lists for $89. Then they also have this premium nickel boron, which is sold at $89 as well. So they have three different nickel boron bolt carrier groups, all the same price. Not really sure what is really going on there, but I do know that there is three different types of nickel boron coating or plating. There's like a standard nickel boron. There's a nickel boron X, and I believe it's called a EXO. I know that EXO, might be saying that a little bit wrong, but it's close to that. I know the EXO is the best, the X is the second best, and then the standard nickel boron would be the least best. But, where this is really shiny, like I said, a friend of mine has had a nickel boron bolt just like this, where it's real shiny. And his did flake a little bit on him. And what I mean by that is, like, some of the nickel boron plating kind of was flaking off in some areas. It seems like the shinier nickel borons are the ones that tend to flake a little bit. That's why I kind of like the ones with the matte finish. Those seem to be like some of the better quality ones, at least from everything I can tell. However, I do really love the nickel boron. Especially like when you compare it here to the phosphate, there's just no question which one is better, honestly. I mean, they're both the same, as in like a full auto M16 profile. Let's see, take a look here. Like I said, there's just no question that this one is better. It's smoother and slicker. This can run, drier than this one can. But let's go ahead here. Let me keep all the parts together. But let's go ahead here and take a look at the bolt here in the nickel boron. Just took out the pin there. There's the firing pin. Here's the cam pin. Now, I must say, too, right off the bat, maybe where it's a nickel boron finish, but this cam pin slides in and comes out easy. Like, it just falls out. I've never had a bolt carrier group where the cam pin will just fall out. They're always not really tight, but, just takes a little bit to get them out. And that's probably due to the nickel boron finish there. Now, what I thought was interesting and what initially made me do this little kind of like review video here, the nickel boron bolt here is only marked, if I can kind of get it to focus a little better, it is only marked MPI for magnetic particle inspected. So kind of like my question is there no need to high pressure test the Carpenter 158 bolt? Is that why it is not high pressure tested? As a premium bolt carrier group, this should be high pressure tested as well, and it should be marked. I thought that was a little interesting. Now, I have already took off the ejector here. There is a O-ring behind here. The same with this bolt as well. Now, I know a lot of people seem to, kind of get maybe like a parkerized or a phosphate or a black oxide bolt carrier group, and then and then they just get like a nickel boron bolt to use in it. Kind of like, let's see, get lined up. How like this would be right here. Because the bolt is really where all the pressure is. It's where all the magic happens, so to speak. So I know a lot of people are just getting the nickel boron bolts and putting them in the bolt carrier group that they already have. In my opinion, that will work fine as well. But I am a little, I guess not worried, but just don't really understand why this doesn't have high pressure testing markings. Now, as far as, I don't want to get them mixed up, but as far as the firing pins go, there is a slight difference between the firing pins in each one. This is the one out of the phosphate. This is the nickel boron. I guess you can kind of tell this is more shiny. This is more of a matte type finish. And there also seems to be a little bit of a difference on the head of them as well. They're close, but this one seems to be more of a ball to me on the end. But they're pretty much the same. They feel the same, you know, they both roll smooth. One might maybe be titanium, I'm not sure on that. But like I said, these are brand new firing pins here that have maybe only been used by them testing their bolts. But yeah, just kind of want to do this little video and kind of ask y'all, I guess, why is the phosphate bolt, if I can get it to focus again, sorry about that guys, if I can find it again. Alright, why is the phosphate bolt here magnetic particle inspected and high pressure tested, and the nickel boron is only magnetic particle inspected? That's something I really didn't understand there. But also, as far as this nickel boron bolt goes here, right off the bat on this one, right when I first took it out, I can notice there's some type of like gum type stuff right there coming out. And I'm guessing that's maybe some type of sealant they put underneath the gas key to help keep it in place. And the reason why I say that is because it looks like, you know, it was just kind of came out from when they put this together and bolted it down and everything. And the reason why I say that is because you can see it right there too, underneath the gas key. So I'm guessing they use some type of sealant, glue. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say glue, but they use some type of something underneath their gas key to help keep it in place. And that's, you know, in a nickel boron bolt carrier group, I would not expect to see this. I would expect to see that, honestly, on the phosphate. There's none coming out on the sides of the phosphate. However, you can see a little bit right there in the same spot. Also, the phosphate, really, I guess, because where it's phosphate coated, I really don't see no tooling marks at all on it. However, there are light tooling marks and kind of a nick or two here and there on the nickel boron bolt here. I just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, if it'll show up good on camera, if I can get it to show up. But there is some tooling marks a little bit right here. As far as like the bottom goes, there's like a nick or two in it. You can see it right there. There's like a nick or two in the bottom there. There's some tool marks right here. Same thing over here. The end of it, just kind of feel how smooth it is. It's real smooth there, no problem. Not really much tool marks, really. Just the goo coming out. As far as the staking job on this is pretty good. The same thing with the phosphate. I honestly think the staking job on the phosphate is much better. If you can kind of see that. That is some aggressive staking right there. And it's not as aggressive on the nickel boron. Again, there might be some tooling marks right here on the gas key. Some tooling marks right here. Maybe we can kind of see that. But overall, not really a big deal. A friend of mine told me, like, if there's a bunch of tool marks and stuff on this, that you can send this back to them, and you can either get a refund, or sometimes they will, since you did have to send it back for a replacement, sometimes they'll send you the one with the logo on it, and sometimes they'll send you the one with the logo on it with a charging handle, just because, you know, you had to send it back for a replacement. But I'm not going to do that. Palmetto State Armory has been real good to me. I don't really see nothing at all wrong with this. It's a little bit, like I said, a little bit of goo right there, but that'll come off. You know, like I said, $89, free shipping. or $89.99, coming in right at $90, free shipping. Great deal in my opinion. Again, I'm not sure what my guess, like they have the PSA nickel boron, you know, the Freedom, and then this premium. My guess would be that would represent the 3 different types of nickel boron plating or coating, would be my guess, but then it doesn't really make sense that they're all at the same price. So I'm not really sure. I had asked them, I had actually sent them a question, you know, on their Palmetto State Armory website, and I asked them what type of plating or coating this was. I said, you know, there's 3 different types of nickel boron plating or coating. I said, which one is this? The guy who from Palmetto State Armory messaged me back about a day or so later and said, do you mean if it has a satin or eggshell type finish? So I guess he didn't really understand what I was talking about. But, you know, it's pretty damn nice, honestly. I like it. Phosphate is phosphate. I really hate phosphate coated anything. But, I mean, it does do its job of protecting. And honestly, though, these are, I think typically these go for about $69. And then these go for $89. You're better off spending the $20 more or $30 more, kind of depending on how the sale is at the time. You know, I love Palmetto State Armory. They have some of the absolute best deals you can find. I don't believe they manufacture any of their parts. They just seem to order a bunch of parts and then they install everything, like the rifles and everything there. But yeah, just wanted to do this little video here, and if anybody knows why this is not high pressure tested when this is, please comment below. I would love to know the answer to that. But you know, as always guys, you know, I appreciate you watching. You know, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.